Yeah, look, it's an ongoing battle, recruitment of young players. And I got to say that I don't think, over the last few years and probably previous to my time at this club, that recruitment has been the strongest point of this club. In fact, at different times during our history, I think it's left a bit to be desired. We are now taking some steps to ensure that our recruitment is right up to speed. We have 8 academies throughout North Queensland. There's 245 North Queensland players involved in those academies, aged between 13 and 16. Of those 245 North Queensland kids that are in our system at different academies, 23 are either contracted or scholarship with this club. We utilise 31 different coaches through those academies that are all local North Queensland coaches. So we're trying to implement a system where our local coaches are exposed to the best coaching. And I know Neil Henry in particular is very passionate about our academies moving forward. Of our 36 players contracted to the under-20s this year, 27 of those were North Queenslanders. That's 75% of our under-20s were North Queenslanders. So again, I think that's showing that we are trying to identify those North Queensland players and giving those young players an opportunity. The other thing that's worth noting this year about North Queenslanders is that Obi Geyer, Sam Bowie, Brendan Bohr, Nick Sliney, Luke Harlan and Greg Burns all made their NRL debuts this year, and all 6 of those guys were North Queenslanders. So it is giving them an opportunity. And it's always a difficult one, recruitment, because everyone has an opinion. And whilst we're trying to identify the best North Queenslanders we can, sometimes the opinions of our recruitment people are sometimes different to those of the person on the street or the person watching those local games. And we have to understand that there's always going to be criticism of recruitment because everybody has an opinion, and I think that's great. It shows there's some passion for the club and all of those different things. You've got to be careful about what you want and what you ask for. I had a person bail me up not so long ago, demanding there be more North Queenslanders in our NRL team. And that same person in the next breath was highly critical of Ashley Graham, Ty Williams and Aaron Payne, and said to me that he didn't think that they deserved to be in the team. So on one hand, we've got what's this one person saying to me, you don't have enough North Queenslanders in there. Then he tells me that we should get rid of 3 guys out of the team, which will improve the chances of winning. But those 3 guys were North Queenslanders. So it's a difficult balancing act. The clear charter of this club, is that it was set up to give North Queensland players or young North Queensland men an opportunity to play in the NRL without leaving North Queensland. And that's still the charter. And we will always take, in our opinion, a good North Queenslander over or what we consider a good North Queenslander over anybody else. And there's always going to be ones that you lose, that you wanted to keep and things like that. We would have, in the perfect world, for instance, we would have kept Jacob Lillyman this year. Grew up in Richmond, played for North Queensland. But things that, that conspired there, he took an opportunity with a club there that had a lot more money left in its salary cap than us. But let me make it clear that this club's charter has always been to provide an opportunity for North Queenslanders. We'll continue that. 8 academies, 245 North Queenslanders attending those academies, 27 of our 36 players in the under-20s North Queenslanders. I think we're providing them the opportunity. It's then up to the player to take the opportunity that we provide them. Well, it's our want, if you like, to try and sign another forward into our team next year, and we're looking for a forward that has a power aspect to his game. It was no secret that we chased Sika Manu, and I actually thought I had a deal on Sika Manu. That never eventuated, which we were bitterly disappointed about. We also were in the race for Lengi Setu from St George, and it came down between us and Brisbane in the end, but his family lived in Brisbane and he took that option. So we've made no secret to the fact that we're looking for a forward that we think's got a bit of grunt and can actually have, as I said earlier, a power aspect of his game. Antonio Kafusi is a guy that is of some interest to us. We think that if we could secure somebody like him, I'm not saying it will be Antonio because a lot of things come into this, and money is one of them, and he has a contract next year to Melbourne, so that complicates it a little bit. But if it's not Antonio Kafusi, we are on the search, and there are some available or may become available in the near future that are a similar type player to him. So that's our next charter. We've got Manase Menakafoa. We're delighted to have him. We think with Carl Webb, we've signed a couple of really good, impressive young forwards. We think if we can find one other power athlete, then we would have topped off the squad fairly nicely for next year. First of all, that we really do want to try and come up with a solution to our injury problems. Over the last couple of years, we've had, I think horrendous is a fair word, horrendous injury type, particularly this year. So we need to get to the bottom of it and work out whether or not it's just bad luck. I'm starting to think it can't just be bad luck. The last time that we had a full squad of players to choose from was round 1, 2006. So with the amount of players we've got injured for the rest of this season, that means at the very earliest we'll have a full squad to choose from will be round 1, 2009. So we're looking at 3 years since we've been able to have the coaches select from a full squad of players available. So we need to work out if there is something around what we're doing training-wise and whether we can rectify that. I don't think an internal investigation will work, to be perfectly honest, because what we're doing then is we're judging ourselves, and so what I've got to try and come up to is how do we do that externally, because I think sitting around a table and judging ourselves, I don't see how that's going to actually prove anything or find anything that we might be missing. So I actually had some talks yesterday with the Queensland Academy of Sport. They were fairly productive and I thought a very, very proactive meeting. They're going away to have a think about what I've had to say. They're going to talk to their bosses in Brisbane, and hopefully we might be able to scope something out where their science where the science arm of their business there at the Queensland Academy of Sport may be able to provide us with some guidance and some advice and some feedback and possibly a report on whether we can change things around that may in fact help us with our injury plight.